Hello and welcome to the first edition of Let's Talk Marketing for Manufacturers, where we bring you insights and advice from your fellow SME manufacturers about what you can do to improve your marketing. I'm Carl Jarvis and I'm a senior marketing advisor that's been working with SME manufacturers for about the last 18 years, and I'm also author of a book called Marketing for Manufacturers. Today we're here with Chris Greenough, who's the Commercial Director of Salop Design and Engineering and Salop Powder Coating based in Shrewsbury, who's also the President of Made in the Midlands. Welcome to Let's Talk Marketing for Manufacturers, Chris. Yeah. Tell me, just before we start, give me a flavour of what you do here at Salop and also what your role is in the company.
So we're a Tier 2 privately owned pressings company based in Shrewsbury. We've been in Shrewsbury for 50 years. Of that last 23 years I've been here. I started as a press operator. I worked my way up. I'm now commercial director, so I deal with sales, deal with anything to do with the commercials, deal with all the customers on a daily basis, and also take care of the sales, the marketing, and all the other social media that we do. Okay,
fantastic. So, tell me, what's been your journey with regards to marketing, and what's some of your earlier thoughts, and what's your sort of core beliefs, and how you viewed marketing perhaps in the past?
Well, in the past we've done very little in the way of marketing. We might have put a couple of adverts in the local paper, but really we didn't do a lot of marketing. Our customers knew where we were, they knew what we did, and we would win the work. In 2012, after the recession hit in 2009, so 2009 to 10, the recession hit, we obviously lost a lot of turnover, had to unfortunately make some people redundant. And in 2012, we looked at changing our market slightly. So we were still automotive press work, but we wanted to do something slightly different. We wanted to move away and make sure that if another recession hit, we could weather the storm. So in 2012, we put in the first powder coating line. We knew there was a market for powder coating because we were looking for our own internal powder coating and couldn't find anyone to do the quality or the price or the standard that we wanted. So we did a bit of market research. We went and looked and saw what was out in the marketplace, and decided that there was an opportunity for Salop Design to put their own powder coating line in, which we did. So that opened in December 2012. We branded it as Salop Powder Coating, and we branded it in that way because we were potentially going to be powder coating for our competitors in the pressings company. So we thought we'll brand it slightly differently, and then we started to think about how we're going to market that company. How are we going to market the potential that we've got? Up until 2012, we hadn't done any marketing. So there was no social media, there was absolutely nothing. We weren't known really in the marketplace. So we had to really take a strong, hard look at what we were going to do. So the first thing I looked at was Made in the Midlands. Made in the Midlands was a peer group that had at that time about 260 members, 260 potential target customers for our powder coating line. So we joined Made in the Midlands in 2012, also started on Twitter and Facebook and social media, and then we started also on LinkedIn to try and build connections. So at that time spent a lot of time looking at the local region, who would be using powder coating, who was making metal presswork, who was making metal parts, looking at a target market really.
So what did you understand about marketing then, and what sort of like some of the key lessons that you've learned from what you've implemented?
At the time, I think myself, I was very naive about marketing, certainly about social media and what it could do for a business. So I looked out and I looked at people who were doing social media and marketing quite well, and certainly in our local area we had a guy who was running the Shrewsbury Morris Dancers Twitter feed. Now you think Shrewsbury Morris Dancers, that's a bit bizarre. At the time he had 45,000 Twitter followers. So he had actually had more Twitter followers than our local MP had got voted in with at the time. So you think he's doing something right. So I spoke to him, I had a session with him, and he said what you need to do is try and plan a marketing campaign, plan your social media, and actually build a brand. We knew as Salop Design we had a brand that our metal pressings company, our customers knew us, but nobody else knew us. Nobody knew Salop Powder Coating. Nobody really knew, even in the Shropshire and Shrewsbury area, what Salop Design did. Up until this point, we hadn't really opened our doors. We hadn't engaged with the public. So as part of the whole strategy, Salop Design, myself and the owner Richard and the other directors put their heads together and said, look, what are we going to do? We need to get sales in.
Yeah.
So through Made in the Midlands, I joined their council. I thought, well, if you're going to be part of a group, try and be as big a part of that group as you can.
Yeah.
Started on social media, started on Twitter, and started to look to how we could engage, how we could sell the brand, and also took the advice of the guy who was running this fantastic Shrewsbury Morris Twitter feed, who'd got 40-something thousand followers, and actually tried to plan our social media. So instead of going to an event and saying, we're here at the event, tell people the week before you're going to the event. Try and set up meetings. Try and actually plan your marketing.
Yes.
So really, I engaged and tried to plan and do what Salop needed us to do. I also knew, because I was involved in the day-to-day, I was the commercial director, I knew exactly what message we needed to get out there. I'm very passionate about manufacturing and the Salop brand.
Yes.
And I think that's key to it. You need to make sure that if you are going to have somebody doing this sort of marketing all the time, I can tell when it's been outsourced to someone because it becomes very impersonal.
Yeah.
What people do like with the Salop brand is they know me, they know Richard, the owner, they know Lee, the other director, they know the Salop brand, they know what we are, they like this personal approach.
So you know that they know that there's like a genuine nature to what you're doing.
Exactly.
And I think one of the core things that's coming across for me is you made that switch from reactive to proactive activity.
Yes, I also looked at what our
that,
competitors were doing. Now, our competitors at the time in metal presswork, certainly at tier 2 and below, we're not doing very much social media, we're not doing very much advertising and marketing.
Yeah.
We're very good in the UK at sort of hiding our light under a bushel, even though we were doing fantastic work.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, we had people, as I started moving out into the Shrewsbury area and discussing our marketing technique with people, we had people who were in Shrewsbury and had lived in Shrewsbury for many years who didn't know what we do.
Right, yes.
There's a store over the road who sell garden furniture and lots of other things.
Yeah.
They've been there 7 years. We've been in Shrewsbury 50 years.
Yeah.
If I say to people, you know where we are? No, we're opposite that store. Oh, I know exactly where you are. I've been in there all the time.
Yes.
Why don't people know what we do?
Isn't that fascinating? Yeah.
So as a manufacturer, we really had, we were up against it. We had to change people's opinions of A, what manufacturing is, and also the fact that we were willing to engage. We wanted people to come in.
Yeah.
The best way of selling our product is to get people to come in and see our product.
Yes. Yes.
They'll only come and see our product if they know who we are.
If I've heard of it. Yeah.
So what you've got to do is raise your brand and raise your marketing profile to such a level that people have an interest.
Yes.
And then when I ask customers, suppliers, even competitors to come in and see us, they come in.
Yes.
So it's really about people knowing by your brand and your marketing what you do.
What you do. Yeah. Yeah. So I was going to say, in terms of some of the specific methods, you've got one or two things that you've shown me here.
Yeah.
Just run me through some of the specific things that you've been doing as well.
So when we started, obviously we've got two companies. We've got Salop Design and Engineering and Salop Powder Coating. So I came up with a business card that was metal presswork and also powder coating.
Yeah.
And people quite like that. It's something different they haven't seen before.
Very different, isn't it? Yeah,
it won't fit in their card wallet. So I say, well, that's fine. Just leave it on your desk.
Yes.
Leave it on your desk and remember the name. So that was the first thing we came up with.
Yeah, yeah.
Then obviously we're powder coating. So we came up with some little business cards for powder coating.
All right,
so the little coasters, coffee coasters,
yes,
that again people can keep on their desk.
Yeah, yeah.
Now again, this is just reinforcing the brand. Salop Powder Coating, Salop Design all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And then one other thing we did, because we've got our own haulage company, we branded up and logoed up some of the lorries that we've got as the powder coating.
Right, yeah.
Now people get used to seeing this around the Midlands.
Yes.
So what we did,
driving around all the time.
Driving around all the time. So we've come up with these little flyers that are actually the powder coating truck.
Yeah.
With the information on the back.
Right, yeah.
And we give these out. And I say to people, that truck has got its own Twitter handle.
Yes.
If you see the truck on the road, send us a picture if it's safe to do so.
Yes.
And we'll send you a prize.
Oh, wow,
and the prize will be one of our powder coating logos. So all we're doing is reinforcing the brand all the time.
Yeah. So it's kind of having some fun with it as well, isn't it? And, you know,
it's making
it engaging.
It's making it engaging, doing something that others in our sector are not doing.
Yeah,
now, there's lots of others in our sector doing advertising.
Yeah.
We're trying to do it in a different way that grabs people's attention.
Yes.
So what I do now, we run a Twitter competition on a Friday called our Interactive Top 10, and we mention our top 10 Twitter people.
Right.
So anyone who's actually tweeted us this week, has retweeted, has liked our posts,
Yes.
we will run down a chart. So every Friday from 9 o'clock, we do a top 10 chart, do it like a top of the pops
like
countdown.
Top of the pops, yeah.
And the winner, we give this prize package to, so we send that in the post.
Yes.
And also we give them a daily shout out for a week, so we mention their company.
Ah, right, okay, yeah.
But when they get the prize, we
Yeah.
ask them to take a picture, again, post it on Twitter. That's
yeah.
reinforcing our brand.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's about getting our brand name out there all the time.
Ah,
Now, I think what we've done over the last 4 or 5 years
yeah.
has been quite successful. We're now, if you type in powder coating in the Midlands, it'll
Yeah,
come up
yeah.
with Salop Powder Coating. Now, bear in mind, before 2012, we didn't have a powder coating line.
Right, yes.
That's a good brand start to get it to where it is now.
That's excellent, isn't it, to get
Salop
through that
Design.
process,
People now know Salop Design for pressings, for powder coating. We've also got our new apprentice training centre.
Yeah.
So we're investing in skills, training for the future of the UK economy.
Yes,
And again, this is all building our brand.
yeah, yeah.
So now people know Salop Design.
yeah,
People know what we can do. We've just had a YouTube video done. So now people can actually see what we can do.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
again, it's
absolutely, yeah.
about showing people the product without them having to come here.
yes.
I'd like everyone to come and visit Salop Design.
I do like that, because I think if you take what already exists within your organisation, you film it,
Yes.
and then you put that onto, say, YouTube or something,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden you've allowed people to visit the factory,
Yes.
but at their desk.
Exactly.
And really you've shown, you've taken what is rich content within your own organisation,
Yep.
and you've been able to package that in a way that it then creates an asset
Yes.
out of that information
There's-
that can be used again and again and in all sorts of
all this marketing and all this
disguises.
PR and this social media we do is about reinforcing the brand name
Yeah, yeah,
and then showing the product.
yeah, yeah,
We sell product, that we make product.
yeah.
We are the movers and makers in the UK.
Excellent.
We need to make sure we get our name out there.
Yeah.
Once the name's out there and people know the brand,
Yeah.
then you can show the product.
Yes,
You can have a fantastic product, but if you haven't got your marketing right,
yes,
nobody will ever see that product.
yeah,
So it's about raising the bar, looking at what your competitors do and doing something different.
yeah. Because I've seen you in quite a lot of media in terms of not only online but offline in magazines, and,
Yeah.
and like you was on the BBC News the
Yeah.
other week, which you know is an excellent coup. Just tell me some of the ways that you went about going through that process, and maybe just share a few obstacles that you had to overcome along the way.
It's really about, you've got to be confident in what you're saying.
Yes.
You've got to use every social media channel, so whether that be LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, don't concentrate on one.
Right.
You've got to be passionate about what you do. Now, Salop Design passionate about manufacturing, but
Yeah.
also engaging with the next generation.
Right.
How are we going to get more engineers to come in? We've got a
Oh,
skills gap,
vital,
as
vital,
most
vital.
manufacturers have.
Yes.
So I started reaching out. So LinkedIn connections now have gone from 2012, where I had nothing, and I started on LinkedIn. I've now got 12,000 connections.
Wow. Okay.
But I engage with these connections. So I'm
Yes.
actually writing articles. I'm looking at what
Yeah.
other people are writing. I'm quite happy to be involved in a marketing campaign that promotes the whole of the West Midlands, promotes our town in Shrewsbury.
Yes.
And it's really about adding value back to what you're doing.
Yes.
People like a personal touch.
Yes.
They like to know that Salop Design are in it for the long term. We are. We put time and effort into making sure we are in it for the long term.
Yeah.
There's lots of barriers that are put in your way. It's not easy to get BBC cameras to come down and see
No,
us.
absolutely not. No.
But if you're persistent, it will happen.
Yeah.
But you can't just think that TV cameras will come to your site.
Mm.
You've got to do all the other things first.
Yes.
By raising the brand, then at least people know what you do. By having web content, people can see what you do. YouTube content, people can see what you do.
Yes.
It's not just a case of, I've done this, so I'm going to get lots of sales or get the TV cameras round.
Yes.
It's a long-term plan. It's taken us 4 or 5 years to get to where we are now.
Yeah. And I think that's an important point, isn't it?
You're not going to get an overnight return.
Instant,
Yes. There's not an
success,
instant return.
Right? No.
You're not going to start on social media and then suddenly get an order the day after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because people need to understand your brand and understand what you
Do
do.
you think people can fall into that trap as well? I'll put a couple of posts upon on LinkedIn. We haven't got any new inquiries or new orders, so we'll stop
Yeah.
doing that. That doesn't work. Or we've changed the website and
Yeah.
we didn't get any new orders, so that didn't work.
Yeah, and
So
this
you can
comes
fall
from
into
this
that trap,
this
can't you,
constant
very easily,
marketing.
yeah.
You've got to be constantly, you've got to get it to a level where you can cope with it. So you don't
Yes.
want to overburden yourself.
Yes,
I mean,
yeah.
I have a full-time role here,
Yes.
and I happen to do this as well.
Yeah.
What you need to make sure is that you are doing a constant level of marketing, social media, that you can cope with,
Yes.
and that will just keep reinforcing the brand name.
Setting your expectations.
Setting
about
your
what you can
expectations,
do.
what you can do and what
Yeah,
you
in
expect
what
from
time.
it. Lots of the OEMs now have buyers that move on every 6 months.
Yes.
So really with our marketing and our PR, what we have to do is re-educate the new buyer.
Yes. Of course.
So we're
It's
not
a
suddenly going,
constant
it's a
circle,
constant
it's a
churn
constant
that you
loop,
need to
yeah.
be doing. And that's what people don't realise. They do when they're doing their own personal Facebook or
Yeah, yeah.
LinkedIn sites. They are constantly putting content out there.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you do the same with business?
Yes. And would you say as well you have to spread the messages from anything from very specific about what you're trying to
Yeah.
talk about your company, but as you said there, going into the wider, bigger issues of like promoting Shropshire, promoting
Yes,
West
I mean,
Midlands
there's too many
businesses,
people who
you know, and
yeah.
so that's kind of a good measure of
You've
a
got
balance.
you've got to have a balance. If you
Yeah,
are
yeah.
just on there saying we make this, come and buy it.
Yeah, yeah.
We make this, come
So,
and buy it.
Absolutely, get caught into that trap. can't
People
you?
get fed up.
Yes. Yeah.
People don't want the hard
Super
sales
salesman.
anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
That is 10, 15 years ago. That's
Yeah.
how it worked.
Yes.
People would do cold calling. People go to network meetings and just try and sell you. And
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
see they would be avoided around the room.
Absolutely.
Now it's different. Now when you go to a network meeting, people know Salop because
Yeah,
of
yeah.
the work that we've done. They know
Yeah,
that we
yeah.
are a brand, that we are investing in the future of this region.
Yes.
And they look to us now, and they will give us work.
Yes.
And we will win work, and you'll keep work.
Yes.
But it's by building those relationships. Marketing now is more about the brand and relationships rather
Yes.
than just the brand and the product.
Yes.
It's
yes.
about people knowing what your company does and who's in the company as well.
Yeah, in a sense, what the company stands for, what you believe in,
Exactly.
what you value.
Yeah, I mean, with
yeah.
social media now, you've put your whole company online, basically.
Yeah, yeah.
There's not a lot that you can hide.
No, that's true. That's true.
But it's the same as when customers or suppliers or school visits, we do school visits to our site.
Oh, I see.
Whoever comes to our site,
Yeah,
we can't hide anything at that point.
No.
They're on our site.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So you need to be quite honest with yourself.
yeah,
Do you want to get yourself to that level? Well, if you do, the opportunities are fantastic.
yeah. I think that's true, isn't it? There's lots and lots of stuff.
Yeah.
So tell me, what are some of the what you might call the mistakes that you think manufacturers can tend to make, SME manufacturers can tend to take, or perhaps some of the the areas where they're just dropping into these certain mindsets and pitfalls, and
Yeah, well, I mean, the biggest thing, as I said, I learned was actually plan your
Yeah.
PR, plan your social media, use
Yes.
it like a calendar.
Yes.
What events are you going to? Make sure you set up meetings, so tell people you're going to the event and actually
Yeah,
plan
yeah.
meetings before you get there.
Yes.
Make it meaningful.
yes,
So when you come back, you can say, yeah, I went to that event, but I had 6 meetings that I'd set up beforehand.
yes,
And also make it more about the company, make it more about the people and the business rather than just the product.
yes, yes,
People need to know who they're buying from.
yes,
That's why the one-to-one, the networking meetings can actually work,
yeah,
because people get to know people.
yeah, yeah.
That's how business is done.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say, because what would you say some of the biggest challenges that manufacturers face?
I think the
regards to
biggest
marketing?
challenges
Yeah.
are that potentially manufacturers don't quite understand the benefits.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think when someone goes to their MD or owner and says, this is what I'm going to do,
Yeah.
there's either very little budget or very little time to do it.
Yes.
But it is the biggest way you can change your market.
Yes.
You're already doing what you're doing. You've already got your customer base. Those customers know you.
Yes.
What are you going to do in 3, 4, 5 years' time?
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
to expand your market. You need to expand your customer base.
Yes.
You need to make sure that you are doing something your competitors aren't.
Yes.
Because if you don't do it now, in 6 months' time, your competitors will be doing something different and you'll be catching up.
Yeah. Yeah. So in a sense, we're almost back to that reactive and proactive approach. So it is
Be
about that
proactive.
proactivity.
Yeah.
A lot of I like a lot of the language you're using about planning through
Yes.
what you're going to do, what social media you're going to do,
Yeah.
what kind of pathway you're going to take, and so instead of running around like a headless chicken or just
Yeah, you need-
reacting to let's do this and then that's
Yeah,
the
you need
flavour of the
you need
week.
to plan and you need to see.
yeah.
And if you can set yourself certain key targets or tasks that you're going to do,
Yes.
as long as you do those, if you do extra,
Yes.
great. And the worst thing that manufacturers and a lot of people do on social media and marketing is they start something, they go gung-ho, fantastic, we're going to keep going, but they've set their expectations too high, and suddenly the week after they stop doing everything.
Absolutely.
Don't do that. Start small.
Start small.
And then work your way up.
Grow.
Exactly. And then get to the point that you're comfortable with.
Yes. And almost like you've got to have faith in the process, haven't you? So that if you continue to do it,
you've got to have.
Then things will start to morph.
They will, but it isn't an overnight thing.
Yes.
You've got to realise that building these networks, building the brand, doesn't happen overnight.
No.
You will make mistakes along the way.
Yes.
But when you do, just take a deep breath in and carry on.
Yes.
But you won't get sales overnight by going on social media.
Yes.
You won't get contacts overnight by going on LinkedIn.
Yes.
You'll get contacts, but you won't get contacts who actually have any engagement with you.
Yes.
So when you start doing LinkedIn and things like that, you need to actually start writing some posts.
Yes.
Don't just go on and like everything. The same as Twitter. Don't go on and retweet everything, because people, they want to see that you actually looked at stuff. You've actually read what the tweet's about. You actually engage, and that's the difference.
Some integrity to what you're doing.
You've got to, if you're going to do it, you've got to engage with people, and that's what people want.
Yeah, excellent, brilliant. Just talking about marketing strategy, I've seen that over the years of working with SME manufacturers. They tend to get those two areas confused. So they'll say, well, we just need to get the website finished off and sorted out, and then we'll look at the strategy. Whereas what you should be doing is spending time developing the strategy, because then the website becomes a function of strategy. Yeah. What's your views on how
we spend a lot of time getting the marketing right.
Yes.
The Salop brand, the Salop Powder Coating, the training centre. We've spent lots of time on that.
Yeah.
Our new website has just gone live.
Great. Okay.
We've had it revamped.
Yeah.
It looks nice and slick. But again, all that does is point people to the contacts.
Yes.
And show some of the product.
Yes. Yes.
The new video that we've had done that's behind me on YouTube.
Yes.
That again has been done because we need to show people the product. So again, that is on the back of the work that we've done over the last couple of years.
Yes.
There's no point having a brand new website.
Yes.
If once people go on, they can't find the contacts, or there's nothing else to show them. It's just a website.
Absolutely.
You need to build the brand, think about the brand. So what we've done with the video behind me, we've actually had a drone come in and do some footage up and down the press line over the top of the building.
That's fantastic.
And again, I don't know of other pressings companies who've done that.
Yeah.
So we're doing something different.
That's quite unique.
So what we wanted to do was something different. Now, I saw the idea a couple of years ago in America. There was an office building, a big company that wanted to show their office building off to their customers. Yeah. So they took a little remote control car with a camera on and drove it in the building up to the reception, up in the lift. And that's the idea I had with the drone. So it actually comes to the front of the building, goes over the top of the building and comes in the factory. So it actually went through one of our presses.
Wow.
Doing something different. Just having a different view, but showing the product and showing the brand.
Would you say then that it's important that you spend time on that creative process and that thinking process? Because some people do tend to shoot from the hip, and and as you said earlier, I think the classic is, we need to have a new website, or we need a news page on our website, and they'll put a news page on, and then 3 years later you go onto the website, and the latest news is now 3 years out of date, and so again, I think the point I'm trying to make is that you've got to allow that strategic development, that thinking time, and exploring outside of your industry, saying, that's interesting.
Yeah, you've got to look at what other people are doing, and that's what's so good about social media. You can see what's going on in lots of sectors. So I don't just look at the manufacturing Twitter feeds or LinkedIn people who are in manufacturing. I look at what marketing people are doing. PR people are doing.
Yes.
So I cotton on to some of their ideas and try and bring that into manufacturing and SMEs.
Yes.
But again, really, it's just about you will come up with your own sort of formula for what works for your company.
Yes.
But you've got to make it sustainable, and you've got to make it easy to manage.
Yes. Yes.
If you can manage it in-house, great. If you outsource it, then just keep an eye on them and make sure that what they're giving you as your sort of PR profile is exactly what you want. Don't just go along with it because they're the marketing people. You know your company. You do, and you make it how you want it.
Yeah. I think that's one of the things that I talk about in the book, is there's a difference between somebody who's responsible for the marketing and somebody who's managing the marketing.
There's a big difference.
There's a very, very big difference, and they'll say, the MD looks after the marketing. Well, they might be responsible for the marketing, but are they really managing it? So part of what we've just been talking about, it is managing that process and then making sure that gets delivered over a sustainable period of time, and in a controlled manner, that you know, the effectiveness of it does start to realise itself over time, rather than the classic for me is, you know, websites for life, not just for Christmas. And people, as you say, they get all excited around the time of the launch, and we're getting this done, and we're getting that done.
And then it falls off very quickly.
And then, you know, and then 3 months later, they've forgotten they even sort of started it. It's sort of history. So I think that broader question across marketing as well is about that consistently, you know, working and developing.
It's the consistent message and the consistent timeline that goes out. So don't post something now and then don't post anything for 6 weeks. Keep it manageable, but people do like to see some interaction. They like to know what you're doing. They like to know which shows you're going to, manufacturing-wise. So when I went to the NEC, the Auto Mechanica and Subcon, I told people I was going. I told people I was there. I was posting while I was there. People know where you are. People know how to contact you. Again, it's a great way for contacting customers, new contacts. They can find you because of your social media marketing.
Great. So just to sum up what we've talked about then today, how would you know, what 2 or 3 bits of advice would you give to an SME manufacturer who's thinking about, you know, adopting some of the things that you've talked about, and, you know? I would
look in your region what your competitors are doing. Try and do something they're not. Try and differentiate yourself. Plan your media. Plan your PR, plan your marketing. What brand message do you want to get out there? And actually speak to other people who are doing it well. So find someone who's doing it well, like I did, a local guy who was doing Twitter. And speak to them. How do they do it? How do they manage it? What works for them? Hasn't got to be in your sector. And then start. Make a start. Is the key.
Absolutely.
Don't wait for it to happen. Make a start and get involved.
Excellent. That's brilliant. Okay, thanks, Chris. I'm just going to show you a copy of my book. Obviously, I told you about this, so I'd like to give that to you.
Fantastic.
And basically, what I've done in the book is it's just covering off all of those. Well, it's in 2 parts. Part 1's the inconvenient truths about marketing. So what I wanted to do is help manufacturers. It's called Marketing for Manufacturers. It's very specific and dedicated to the SME manufacturing market base. And basically, it's taking, you know, some of the excellent insights that you've shared today and really being able to pass those ideas and those thoughts. And then part 2 is all about the strategic development of a marketing strategy and sort of build of that. So I'd like to thank you for your time today, and thanks again.
Thank you.
So, if you're a manufacturer, I'm hoping what you've learnt today has been inspirational. It's given you a whole new perspective on what you should be doing in your marketing, and it's going to help you to really improve what you're doing and growing your business in the future. If you'd like to learn even more about marketing, you can get a copy of my book, Marketing for Manufacturers, which is available as a paperback or a Kindle on amazon.co.uk. Just go to Amazon and search under Carl Jarvis Marketing, or you can visit my website on carljarvis.com. So, I'm Carl Jarvis, and you've been listening to Let's Talk Marketing for Manufacturers. Until next time.